Hello. I just did my Bible study and it's uploading right now. And now I'm just kind of sitting here with my thoughts. And I'm thinking about something that was really bothersome today. It's bothersome all the time. But today it seemed to be like really exaggerated and magnified. When I am asked a question, okay, I answer it truthfully and matter-of-factly, because if you're going to ask me a question, I'm going to answer. And it may not be the answer that you want to hear. So my thoughts are going to this. It's like when people ask questions, like if they're wanting to get some information out of somebody, are they just wanting to maybe get the answer they're looking for? Because if it seems like a lot of times if they get an answer that they didn't really want to hear, it upsets them. So it's like, well, why even bother asking? Here's the thing about me, and it's very common in the autistic community. We are very truthful, and I think that's awesome. It's like we don't... Listen, I find it very unproductive to say something that isn't true, or to sugarcoat stuff, or to beat around the bush. It's like just cut to the chase. Like, I mean, when I'm telling stories, I can't cut to the chase. I have to give every single detail possible. But when it comes to somebody asking me a question or asking me what my thoughts are on something, I'm gonna give them honest feedback, and they don't always like to hear it. And that's why it's so frustrating sometimes having conversations with people. It's like, what did you expect? What did you want to hear? It's almost like you want to say, after they ask you the question, it's almost like you want to say, okay, so give me some hints. What are some things that you want to hear in my answer? And then they can tell you. And then you can say, okay. And then you can modify your answer to please them. And then everyone's happy, right? Wrong. No, it shouldn't be that way. I think it's so refreshing. Honesty, brutal honesty, because there's no confusion, right? I mean, sometimes the truth isn't always pleasant, but if you're going to ask a question that might require some unpleasant answers, then don't ask the questions if you don't want to hear the answer. I don't know. I've dealt with this my whole life. I'll give you an example. And this is something that has stuck with me all these years. And then when I was finally evaluated and confirmed that I am autistic, it was like I was going back and remembering things from my childhood all the way up until today. And I was remembering things and I was just laughing because it was like, it was so obvious, but nobody ever thought to say, like, maybe she's neurodivergent, maybe she's, on the spectrum. But see, I'm an 80s kid, and back then it wasn't really, like, autism wasn't really talked about. And if it was more for the boys, from what I understand. But anyway, here's a perfect example. I had a friend over one day. This was in like elementary school, I think. She was just over. It was a little play date. And her name was Laura. I liked Laura. We had fun together. We played with our dolls and we just laughed, and she was really nice. And so anyway, we were talking about best friends and our friends at school. And I asked Laura, I said, well, Laura, who's your best friend? Like, who's one of your best friends? And she goes, you. I was like, oh, thank you. And she goes, well, who's yours? Like, who is your best friend? And I said somebody, but it wasn't Laura. And I'll never forget the look on her face, because she was waiting for me to say her, because she said me. So she was anticipating that I'd be like, well, you, Laura, of course. No, in my brain, it wasn't Laura. It truly wasn't. Like, I liked Laura, but I didn't consider her my best friend. I said something like Cynthia, because no, I didn't meet Cynthia until middle school. I can't remember who I said, but it wasn't Laura. And Laura's face went from like this to this. Brutal honesty. Hey, at least Laura knew the truth. I probably didn't hang out with Laura much anymore after that. But I didn't, listen, I didn't do it to be mean. It wasn't a calculated, vindictive move to hurt Laura. She asked me a question and I was honest. She asked me who my best friend was, and I told her. And unfortunately, it wasn't her. But I was grateful that I was hers. Anyway, I'm just sitting here with my thoughts and just trying to figure out people and trying to figure out like why conversations go the way they go and how phony and fake they must be all around the world a lot of the time. But you're not going to get fake and phony with me, and that's probably why I don't have a whole lot of friends. It's probably why I have such a small circle. Like, I don't even have a circle. I have like a dot. It's not even a circle. It's a dot with just like a few people on it. It's not enough people to form a circle. I don't know. Oh, it's something, I'll tell you. It is something. Just trying to understand the human brain, the types of human brains, the Android brain and the Apple brain. I use Android and Apple as an example as far as autism versus non-autism. It's, it has the same goals. We both communicate. We just communicate in a different way. And, yeah. I'll never forget poor Laura. I wonder if she still remembers that. Yeah. Ouch. Okay, well, I'm going to go now, but those are just my thoughts. Listen, if you're going to ask a question, you're going to get the answer, and it may not be what you want to hear, but at least it's honest, right? There's no confusion. That's a plus. You don't want to be deceived, to spare your feelings, right? I mean, come on. Anyway, all right, those are my thoughts. Gotta go. Bye.